I think the issue for this government, the challenge we have in this country is that there is one of about priorities. If this, in fact, is a priority, which is not, and people talk about jobs and food security and many other issues, but if it was, what the government needed to have done is to have the actual procedure for doing this kind of thing. You do policy first, you do legislation, then you come to execution of the fund. That is the procedure. What I see is putting the horse, the cart before the horse. You're asking us, bring the money. Once we start collecting the money, after the bill passes, then we start doing the law. I mean, you guys can then give your views. I think it's a very wrong thing, and I think the point really many Kenyans have raised is this. True, we are entitled to housing, but the government has a mandate. Mm-hmm. The government is not short of money. You collect 3.6 trillion expenditure. You have that's what Ndindi Nyoro said, 3.6 trillion. You cannot spend 100 billion to house Kenyans whom you say are vulnerable. Is that a challenge? What I think for me, if you ask me what the government needs to do after withdrawing that bill, create a conducive environment for investors to do the work. Housing should not be a responsibility of government, in my view. If at all the government wants to do something about houses, provide a cheap mortgage. You have done it in the Hustlers Fund. Provide it. Provide a guarantee to the financial institutions, and complement, so that you can give a cheap mortgage. The same way when we started Agricultural Finance Corporation, you remember the AFC, that bank. We had banks that have been started by government, right, to assist in this kind of things. Start a fund. I mean, the government can assist in that kind of situation where they can assist on the mortgage, those who cannot afford. But I think for the government to start looking for a contractor, take our money, build houses, there is a trust deficit in this country about government. No one trusts the government of the Republic of Kenya with their money. Forget about our fund money, which they're going to deduct from me and from you. Nobody trusts them with the tax 3.6 trillion that they collect. They have gone on record as government officials and said a third of this money is stolen. This particular government, their leader, their chair of their Council of Economic Advisors on record that corruption is not on their platform. I mean, what are you telling Kenyans?
Okay.
I give you my money.
Even though Honorable Kero